Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos ranging from 12 years down to 1 year. I wanted to give an update today on middle school and how our year has gone thus far. So kind of an update mid-year, halfway through almost, of things that we are doing well with, if there is anything that we are struggling with, and just overall. I know middle school homeschool in general is not too popular, I feel like, on this platform. When I was looking up, trying to find middle school, I don't know, I don't want to say advice, but support kind of for homeschooling a middle schooler, it was difficult to find. And I feel like as time progresses and they get older, it's harder to find. So, going into high school, I feel like there might even be less than middle school, and elementary school and preschool are like the main ones that you see. And so I know a lot of times middle school, I feel like, is kind of the tough spot because you're kind of in the middle of, you are in the middle of, easy peasy work and really important high school work. So I first want to start off by saying that my 7th grader is one of my public school kids. He went to a private preschool and went kinder through 3rd grade in public school. I took him out starting 4th grade. Our first year, it was a transition because he obviously was not used to this homeschool life. And so transitioning him to that kind of schedule and changes, it took a little bit of time. And it wasn't bad. He has never complained, ever. And really, none of my kids have complained. But him especially. He has really thrived in homeschool. And I at first was kind of worried because I thought maybe because he was used to that super, super structured schedule that it was going to be difficult. It was at the beginning a little bit, but we have overcome that. So we are now in 7th grade. So this is our 4th year and we're doing pretty well. So I wanted to kind of recap this past semester on what we have really liked. This was our first year using Math UC. I knew going into middle school that I was going to need a different curriculum. We use the Good and the Beautiful for the other kiddos, but for his age group, they don't have that yet. And so we dabbled in a lot of the public school curriculum, which worked for the time being. It worked for elementary. We did, I'm trying to remember now, we did Go Math. We did Envision Math. We tried teaching textbooks, which I did not like at all. And that might have been it. Those might have been the 3 that we did. And Math UC, I went ahead and tried because I knew that going up into these higher grades and him going into pre-algebra, which is what he's in now, that I was going to need a little bit more support. And so I went ahead and purchased that. I did not purchase the manipulatives that go along with it. I have not needed that this year. He has done well without it. And if we get to that point where he needs it, which he might for like next year or the year after, then I will go ahead and get it. But I wanted to see how we would do without it because I feel like we necessarily needed it this year. So all we have is the book, the the instruction manual, the course book, and then we have the DVD. The DVD I tried to put in my computer, and for some reason, I don't know, it just didn't support it. I don't think it was on their part. I think it was something with our laptop. So he puts it in the DVD player at the TV and watches it that way. And the very short lessons to watch. And that has been a wonderful curriculum. I am very pleased with the curriculum. It has the course book or the like teacher edition with all the answers and stuff. That has been great for me. If I think I know what I'm doing, but I need to double check, and because it's been a few years, it shows how they got the answer. So Matthew C has been great for us for math. He has done well. He has enjoyed the DVD, and it has really it's easy to understand. So math we have done great on. I have mentioned before that our extra subjects, and by extra I mean like not extra like elective wise, but like science and things like that, I wanted to kind of pick up the pace on that as we get into January and the new semester, because this year we've kind of been lax, because I feel like with math and language arts, which is what I want them to do every day, my two older ones especially, I want them to do that every day, and I want them to at least make sure that they get those done. Sometimes those take a while, especially for my 7th grader. So, I mean, if we're in the car, they are good about taking their work in the car and doing it then. So a lot of times, even if we have appointments and things like that, they will finish by the time we get home. If they don't need, if he doesn't need like the DVD that day. So it has taken a little bit longer in the day than I was anticipating. But again, I want to make sure that they get those 2 core subjects done, and anything after that is we will do as we get to it. So I have been, I don't want to say pleasantly surprised, because I'm not really surprised, because he's really a good worker. And I think that public school background has helped him tremendously because he understands that structure, whereas my younger kids don't really. And so I have loved the math. The language arts, the good and the beautiful, he does very well with. His level is one that they have not, they are going level by level. They've been doing this for a while, and kind of making it a little bit less time consuming. They have not reached his level yet. So it's like, they're like right behind him. And so they have not reached I don't know if they've reached the 6th grade yet or not, 6th grade or 7th grade level. My 4th grader has the addition that they have redone to make it a little bit less time consuming, but he does not have that. And so the one that he has, I have disregarded actually quite a bit of the extra stuff that they put in there. The geography cards, we do that separate. And so anything extra that's in there that we do aside from that, or that I have a separate like little curriculum or stuff for, I disregard that. There is, I think it's handwriting, their handwriting, but I believe also their language arts has quite a bit of, a lot actually of extra work that I kind of forego. And he'll ask me, do you need me to do this? And sometimes if he understands it, I will just say, don't worry about it. Or, like for example, sentence diagramming, if there's like 8 of them, I will tell him do 4 and I will check it. And if he gets it right, then you're good. So I kind of look at their language arts and I kind of revamp and move things around a little bit as I see fit, because I don't feel like they have to do all of that. I mean, sometimes the lessons are fairly lengthy. And so I will be interested to see what their newer edition ends up looking like, but he is not, like I said, it's behind him. So it will never catch up to him. So language arts, good, but sometimes lengthy. So I just kind of, and feel free to do that with any curriculum that you have, really. If it is too much and you feel like they do not need to do all of this because they understand it, cut it in half and say, do half of these problems or half of this, exercise. And if you get it right, then we'll move on. I mean, there's no need to do all of it if you don't have to. So that is that for language arts. Handwriting and vocabulary, I will link what we are doing for him. But handwriting, the Good and the Beautiful, he does that on his own. He does the vocabulary on his own. And really, if he has questions, he comes to me, and that's pretty much it. I have been very, very lucky with him this year. Really in the past all year. See, I've never had issues with him. But if he needs help with anything, then he will come to me. So I have been very pleased with middle school so far. I have been happy with the curriculum that we have chosen. I have been pleased with the math that I was really kind of trying to figure out at the beginning of the year, or actually at the end of last year, what am I going to do? Because, as we get into these upper grades, and sometimes you forget when you're a little bit older, you forget some things. And so I was a little afraid what was going to transpire with math. But we will be using Math UC again next year. And so geometry is not my strong point at all. So having that and having, somebody teaching that on a video, on a DVD, helps tremendously. So I'm looking forward to that. I feel kind of a weight lifted off my shoulders that Math UC is kind of our sweet spot for math for our older kids, at least. They have younger grades, but I'm going to stick with the Good and the Beautiful for my younger kids just because it works and it's colorful. And this Math UC is very, I'm not sure about the elementary ones. I'm assuming maybe it's all the same, but it's very, at least for middle school, very black and white, which obviously you're not going to have super colorful pages for middle school and high school, but it would not catch the attention of my younger kids at all. So for the most part, we are doing great. If there's anything that you struggle with, let me know down below, and I will see if we have had that issue before. If there's anything or any advice that I can give you. Like I said, we are in 7th grade, so this is our 2nd year of middle school. I did not see a huge difference. We don't go from 2 classes to however many classes a middle schooler has now, 6. So really the transition from elementary to middle school was very anticlimactic. It wasn't, I made a deal of it, but I didn't make a huge deal of it because it's just like we're going from one grade to the next. We are not doing a whole new school. We are not doing a whole new set of teachers, in public school, the change from elementary to middle school is so huge. But in homeschool, you just kind of gradually transition to it, and that's it. So, like I said, very pleased. We are doing great. No issues to report for middle school. But let me know if you have any, or if you've had any problems this year with your middle schooler, because chances are maybe I have gone through that last year, maybe, or I can offer some advice. Let me know if you have any questions, comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.